Hi, I'm Jackie Van Riller, creator of the Flow Method, and the Flow Method is all about creating flow and movement beneath the surface of your body in your nervous system, in your lymphatic system, to keep your skin looking beautiful. But in this video, we're really going to be talking about its ability to keep your immune system functioning really well, and how if you have good flow through your nervous system, it helps to keep everything activated, it keeps your body warm, it helps you prevent disease. And so today's video, I'm going to show you some specific spots on your face that you can use to boost your immune functioning. A couple of signs that show up if your immune system might not be functioning very well, and I'm going to show you what to do about it. So first of all, a couple of things that show up if your immune system might be compromised would be large pores on your face. Large pores mean that your lungs are weaker and your lungs are trying to breathe through your skin. So your pores enlarge, and those large pores allow viruses, bacteria to enter your skin through those openings. Another sign that your immune system may not be functioning really well is if your ears are really floppy. So if you can bend your ears over and they don't flop right back, or it's not like kind of hard, you feel like it's super easy to bend your ears together, that can be a sign of a lower functioning immune system. So I'm going to show you some specific things that you can do to really boost your immune system, especially in this time of the coronavirus. The number one thing I like to do is first warm up the chest and the back. So I will use something like a deep blue from doTERRA. It's an essential oil that has a warming menthol camphor. You can use tiger balm, anything that's just going to really create a warming effect on your chest, right? This is the biggest part of your body, and if you're getting cold, it allows bacteria and viruses to enter your body and to take root. The other thing I'm going to show you are some specific facial reflexology points, and I'm going to be using a detector that looks like this. Probably most of you don't have a detector that looks like this because they're pretty hard to find, and I actually only have one of these. So instead, use a crochet hook that looks like this, but you want one that has a blunt tip. You can see how this is blunt, it's not super pokey. This one's a little more pokey, but you can find one that has a blunter tip. And what you're going to do is use this to activate the points, and then on top of that, you can use Salon Pause. So this is a pain relieving patch with menthol and camphor, and if you put these on top of the points that I show you, it'll help to keep them active longer, and it also brings up more heat in your body. Now when you're looking for Salon Pause, you want to make sure that you get the one that does not have lidocaine in it, and you also want to be sure that you do not have an allergy to aspirin or salicylic acid, because it does have a little bit of that in it as well. Now, I don't use these patches very often for things, but particularly for preventing illness, and especially if you feel like you have just those first little symptoms coming up, you definitely want to use these because it kind of knocks it out immediately. Now, if the symptoms start to come back or you feel like, you haven't quite gotten them, then do them again in, another hour or two or whatever. These Salon Pause patches can stay on for about an hour or so, and then you want to take them off, or you can put them on right before you go to sleep at night. Now I've cut up a couple of them. So they come in a package and they look like this. So this is one that's already been cut up into little squares. So I just keep them in a little Tupperware and I cut them into squares about this size, so pretty tiny. This is actually probably a little bit bigger than you need, but I'll keep them in a little Tupperware so they're ready to go. So I'm going to show you some specific spots to start working. Number one is this spot here at the very top of your chin. This is a spot that really warms up your body. It also helps improve your digestion, help improve decision-making skills. But if it's nice and tender, it's a good sign that you need to work this spot. There's a little bit of a blockage somewhere in your nervous system. And if you massage that spot and it doesn't feel tender or zingy, then just skip it because it means that there's not a blockage or an imbalance there. These next couple spots I'm going to do are on the upper lip, and if you are pregnant, you want to avoid doing any spots on the upper lip. So that's the only really contraindication. But the spot right where the nose opens up, right at the base of the nostril there. And I'm doing those circles here. I don't feel any tenderness or any zinginess there, so I'm not going to put a patch there. But if you do feel that tenderness or that zinginess, you will want to put a patch there. And I'm feeling it tiny bit on this side. So normally if I was doing this on myself, I wouldn't really worry about it. But since I feel it just a tiny, tiny bit, I'm going to go ahead and put a little patch on that side. Again, if you have like a big bump there or it feels really tender, that's a good sign that you need to work that point. So I would work it now, and then you could come back in several hours and work it again, kind of see what the relief of your symptoms are like. Now you want to get this stuff on your face, work on your face before they set in, because once these, once the viruses take root in your body, it's much, much harder to get them out. So very first signs, you start feeling a little headachy, you feel like you have low energy, this is when you want to use it. So this is point 1. This is a point that helps to purify the blood. So of course we want our blood to be delivering nice nutrients and oxygen throughout our body. So this is a good point that helps to stimulate and activate that. Also another point for just warming up your body. This whole series is going to be about keeping your body warm and resistant to any bacteria or viruses that are trying to enter your body. Got that point right there. If you feel like you have a stuffy nose or a runny nose, this point right here on the side of the bone is great for just kind of doing some up and down motions here. And anytime I do this, I also just like to come all the way under the cheekbones and come up to where the ear attaches to the face. And this is an amazing spot if you're having anything going on with your eyes. So if your eyes feel tense or tender, or you just have really sensitive. Again, I'm not feeling anything on these spots, so I'm not going to put a little patch on there, but if you're doing this and they feel tender, tense, zingy, or just feel like they need some work, go ahead and put a little patch on there. Especially if you get one right on this point here and here, it can be really helpful for like a runny nose or just clearing out any stuffiness. Get some massaging done right here where the ear attaches to the face. Again, I'm just not feeling like a ton here, so I'm not going to put patches on those spots. But I do feel a little bit like right here. And this spot is a stomach spot. I'm not having any stomach issues, but I definitely feel a little bump here. And the stomach can have to do with the emotion of worry. So if you're feeling worried that you might be sick, and especially in this time of the coronavirus, this would be a good point to put a little patch on. So this is on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, you have your stomach and your spleen. On the right-hand side is liver, gallbladder. All right, so the next spot that I'm going to do is this spot here between the nose and the mouth. So right in the middle, if you come down the smile line, you might feel a spot that feels tender or bumpy. If this spot is active, this is a large intestine spot, and it also releases natural antibiotic substances. So just working this spot will help keep your body, the immune system going and help to release those natural antibiotic substances. I didn't feel anything on this side, so I'm not going to put that patch on there. And I'm going to check the other side here. This side I feel a little bit. Still not super active on me, but if you're not feeling the best or you feel like your immune system is a little weak, you will probably feel like a bump on this spot. It might be very tender. So I'm going to put a little patch on there. All right, and then the last little spot that I like to do is just kind of going around the ears. This helps to activate the lymphatic system, especially through the neck, which is where the majority of the lymph nodes in your body are. I'm just doing some circular motions, and I'm coming down the front of the neck and going up the back of the neck. Sorry, the ear. But the neck is where it activates it. All right, down the front. There you go. So those are some points you can start using. I also have a couple of videos on my Instagram that show you some facial massage techniques that you can use as well to keep yourself from getting sick in this time when we really want to avoid it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.